Pure Elite Gaming.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Pure Elite Gaming, back at you with another one. Virtua Fighter is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. After almost 20 years, Virtua Fighter is coming back. Am I excited about it? Let's have a conversation. So, as I stated earlier, it's been almost 20 years since we've had another Virtua Fighter title coming out. And well, Virtua Fighters 5 and 4, the last two installments, to me, didn't really do anything. And that's Virtua Fighter's problem, because ever since Virtua Fighter, I got on Virtua Fighter back on the Sega Saturn. I just told you how old I am. Virtua Fighter 3 was a banger, in my opinion. But just as I'm getting into Virtua Fighter, Tekken comes and just takes their thunder. Now, when Tekken first came out, I originally thought Tekken was a wannabe Virtua Fighter because Virtua Fighter was out first. They had games on the Sega Genesis. But Tekken ended up carving its own identity, and Tekken, what the Tekken franchise did over time was it evolved. Tekken evolved over time, which is why Tekken is king today in the fighting game franchise. It's hard to deny it. It's very hard to deny it. Tekken does what it's supposed to do. As a franchise, it grows, it evolved. Virtua Fighter did not evolve in any way. Once you've played one Virtua Fighter game, you've played them all. You run through a set of opponents in an arcade style mode, and then that's the end of the game. And as a fighting game formula in this day and age, it's boring. What Virtua Fighter needs to do, what the team of Sega needs to do with this new Virtua Fighter, and it's not going to be labeled Virtua Fighter 6, it's just going to be called Virtua Fighter because they're seemingly rebooting the franchise. But in doing so, what they have to do is give it a story. Let's have a story. Let's have a story mode just like how Tekken has, how Mortal Kombat has, how Street Fighter had with Street Fighter 5, The Shadow Falls. We're not going to talk about that awful World Tour mode Street Fighter 6 garbage. We're not here to talk about that because it's garbage. Virtua Fighter has to do that in order to become a contender again. It has to evolve, and that's something that Virtua Fighter has not done, like I stated earlier in this video. It has to evolve. And from the trailer that I saw, it looked like Akira and what's her name? Sarah? I believe her name's Sarah. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. They were fighting each other. Well, at least it appeared that that's who it was. And, you know, what you see is what you get. You know, a bunch of parries, a bunch of dodges. You know, it looked pretty clean as far as the gameplay went, but I still need to see more if I'm to believe that Virtua Fighter is going to become a contender again. Now, am I going to get the new Virtua Fighter? Yes, I am. And I'm going to cover it right here on Pure Elite Gaming. Yes, I am. But am I excited? Am I just like ready for this new Virtua Fighter? Will I even get it day one? That's up for debate if I'm going to get it for day one purchase. But am I excited about Virtua Fighter? No, I'm not. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not excited about Virtua Fighter. But again, I'm going to check it out and I'm going to have a objective mindset. I'm going to go into this game with low expectations, so that way I won't get disappointed like I did with Virtua Fighter, especially Virtua Fighter 5, man. When Virtua Fighter 5 came out and just was a shell of a game, it just was so lackluster, I threw in the towel and I said even back then, man, Tekken is officially king. I felt that Tekken was king even before Virtua Fighter 5 came out, but when Virtua Fighter 5 came out, and I saw how bland and boring it was, I was just like, yeah, Tekken has won. It has. It has. And why am I making so many comparisons with Virtua Fighter and Tekken? That's easy. Everyone's been doing it. You've got Tekken fans that love Tekken. I'm one of them. And they just refuse to admit that anything is going to surpass and usurp Tekken. You also got people that hate Tekken. And when they saw the trailer for the new Virtua Fighter game, they jumped on the bandwagon quick. That's why I made the comparison to Virtua Fighter and Tekken here on this video. That's why I did that. So if anyone's gonna wonder, why does he keep making the comparisons? That's why. Everyone's doing it. And you know you're doing it. So let's not act like we're not all doing it. Let's not act like we're not all comparing Virtua Fighter to Tekken. And let's also not act like we didn't do that when Tekken first hit the scene and we compared it to Virtua Fighter. Just saying. But Tekken carved its own identity and Tekken became great. Whereas Virtua Fighter never really truly carved its own identity and just got tossed to the wayside. But can that happen? Can Virtua Fighter carve its own identity? Or will Virtua Fighter end up like Soul Calibur and Dead or Alive and King of Fighters and all these other games that had the potential to be great, but just could not carve its own identity and could not come up with a captivating story in order to keep our limited attention? But what do you guys think? Am I being a little too hard, too harsh? Should I just save my critiques and my criticism for when the new Virtua Fighter game hits? Or am I valid? And do you agree with me? However the case may be, sound off in the comment section below and let's have a discussion. And I'll catch you on the next one.